Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. March 2025 inked pens. These are the pens I've got inked up, but they're not in my pens in use rotation and they're not inked up to be used in a video. So let's jump on in and we'll start with the Platinum Preppy. Nice cheap pen to start with. I'm going to fetch the pens out in ascending price order. I do like this one. We've got here a cartridge. You can buy a converter for this. The converter costs more than the pen. The nib size, this is a 0.5. They don't use fine and medium, they use this numbering system. So 0.5, that equates roughly to a Japanese medium. It's a nice pen in the hand. Very light though, that's one of the downsides with it. So we've got here a Platinum Preppy. In here I've got a medium nib, and the ink is by Diamine, and it's a Bar Humbug. I love the name of this ink, my favourite saying at Christmas time. Price wise, you're looking approximately 10 Aussie dollars, so nice, affordable. As I say, it costs more for the converter than it does for the pen. Next up, we're going to go from Japan, we're going to jump into China. Here we've got a Jinhao, and it's the Jinhao 9016, so part of the Dadao series of pens. Beautiful transparent brown colour here, looks nearly orange to me. Cartridge converter, it's got a large converter, there we go, and this converter screws in, it doesn't just push in. It's a nice fit in the hand, very nice and comfortable, posts really well, but I do find it feels back heavy. The nib, here we've got the nib, it's a heartbeat nib, so hopefully you can see there. Let's see if I can move the focus point for you so you can actually see it. Hopefully you see there the heartbeat there on the nib. Try and catch that in the light. So we've got a Jinhao, very nice wide line here, 9016. This is a medium nib. The ink by Diamine, and it's Cinnabon. Very nice ink. It's got a scent to it, so you get like a smell of cinnamon when you're writing with this. Price wise, you're looking at approximately 14 Aussie dollars. So that's the Jinhao 9016. Next up, we've got the Kaigaloo 316 in the Aloe pattern. I had this pen about 3.5 years. Absolutely love it. It's a pen I keep fetching out time after time. Between this and the Jinhao 100, they really are my favourite pens. Here we've got a cartridge converter. Not a lot of ink left in this, so if it does right, after I've finished, I will put it into the pot to go and be cleaned out. Which means I can now fetch out a Jinhao 100 again. Number 6 size nib. There we've got that Kaigaloo nib. See the kangaroo on there. Another one, nice in the hand, feels really comfortable. Doesn't post very well at all. So we've got a Kaigaloo. So I'm not sure if this will write. Let me just prime the feed. I've pushed the converter all the way down to the bottom. Let me just move this over. I'm going to turn it slightly on an angle. There we are. That might make it a bit easier for me to write. Now, and we're still getting nothing. So that's now out of ink. So the price for this pen is roughly 28 Aussie dollars. Staying in China, we've got the Pen BBS 308. This is in this transparent blue colour. Love the colour of this. Really like the 308 model. Very comfortable to use. Again, it's a light feeling pen. I would think it's possible to eyedropper it. I don't intend to try. Got a converter in there. The converter's fairly full, which is nice. There's another pen there with a number 6 size nib. These Pen BBS nibs, I find that when I bought this, there wasn't a lot of choice, but I love writing with the nibs. So we've got here a Pen BBS 308. Guess what? It's a medium nib. And the ink in here is by Diamine, and it's Cosmic Glow. This is an extreme sheen, and hopefully you can already see that coming through. Price wise, you're looking approximately 36 Aussie dollars. Just going to try and capture this for you so you can hopefully see some of this sheen. There we go, trying to capture that with the light. Hopefully that will show up. I don't see too much coming in through my preview, but it's only a small preview, so let's hope when I edit we see a bit more. So that's the pen BBS 308. Once more, we've got a Chinese pen. We've got the Asvine P20. Reminds me a little bit of a Leonardo Momento Zero, you know, with the ends, with the wheel. One thing it's got over my Leonardo, it's got an ink window. It's not a very big ink window, but it's still usable. I love this colouring as well. I think it looks really nice. Another number 6 nib. There we go. Another pen, fits really nice in the hand. I like the section here because it's not a concave one. It's going down and then flattening out. Very comfortable for my hands. I hold my pens down near the bottom and this just fits perfect. So we've got here an Asvine and it's the P20 with a medium nib and the ink, Colorverse, Neptune Occultation. Bit of a mouthful that one to say. Price wise, you're looking at approximately 44 Aussie dollars. I think this ink is a really good match for this pen. I think they look really well together. Let me just move this down a bit. There we are. We can actually see some more of the pens there, or should I say some more of the inks. So that's that Asvine P20. We're going to jump to Germany for the next pen. This is the Faber-Castell Hexo. Really like this pen. Really surprised by it. I got it mainly because I needed to bulk up the price for an Appleboon order to get to the free shipping level. But I'm so glad I did because this is such a gorgeous pen to write with. It's a cartridge converter. All I do, if I can avoid getting ink on my fingers, all I do is I actually refill the cartridge with a blunt nose syringe rather than having a converter. I may get a converter for it in the end, but at the moment I'm quite happy just using that cartridge. So in the hand, there we go. Forgot to show that. I almost went and started writing. It's a nice fit. Posts not too badly. Slightly concave near the bottom there of the section. I love that we've got this black nib which matches in with the black of the section. So let's now write. So we've got a Faber-Castell. This pen sings to me when it's writing. Hexo. It's got a broad nib. I'm going to go on to the next line for the ink because it's another long name. So it's Colorverse. And it's Dante's Cosmology. Price wise, you're looking approximately 46 Aussie dollars. As I say, I love this pen. It really writes gorgeous, and the way it sings, it's just so nice. So that's that Faber-Castell Hexo. My final pen under 150 Aussie dollars is from Wingsung, and it was the Wingsung 630. This was a gift from a viewer. I very much appreciate those. Thank you very much. It's a piston filling pen. Here we can see there we've got an ink window. Not going to work that, obviously. I don't want to throw ink all over the place. It's a chunky pen. You know it's in your hand. It needs to be chunky though. We've got a number 8 size nib on here. This is the Wingsung number 8 nib. I am planning at some time in the future to do a showdown between a number of the number 8 nibs that I've got. Not sure when that will be. I might try and record it next month, so keep an eye out for that. So we've got here a Wingsung 630 with a fine nib. Although it's fine, it writes similar to some of the other pens which are broads. The ink in here is by Diamine and it's Harmony. And price wise, you're looking again about 46 Aussie dollars. So not exactly cheap, but I would say very inexpensive. It's a nice chunky pen if you like chunky pens. And you can post it, but I've got to be honest, posted to me, it feels way, way, way too big and long. So that's that Wingsung 630. What we'll do now is we'll take a look at pens that are over 150 Aussie dollars. Just dropping in to interrupt your regular programming. Would you like to help support the channel? If so, please consider joining as a member. As a member, you'll get early access to my videos. I normally upload them a couple of days before they go out, and as soon as they're uploaded, they'll be released to members. There'll also be a shout out at the end of the videos, and then as we get the members coming in, we'll actually chat among ourselves and work out what other perks, what other things you'd like me to add in. You know, would you like maybe a monthly live chat just for members? All down to us. So please, if you can, consider joining the channel. A link will be in the description down below. So my first pen over 150 Aussie dollars. This is from Just Turn-Ins. He's an Australian-based manufacturer. The material is by Brooks Blanks and it's called Elvenwood. And this is in a matte finish. Absolutely love this. I'm really into things like The Hobbit, a lot of the fantasy type books. You know, elves do appear in a lot of those, and that's why I thought, yeah, let's get this. I mainly bought it, well, because of the name, but I do like the colour as well. Cartridge converter. Not tried it with any of them, but I think you could possibly get away with eyedropper in this. Doesn't look like there's a lot of ink. I'm going to just quickly prime this feed. Let's see. So this is another pen there. I've pushed that plunger all the way down. Hopefully there's some ink in here to write with because I love writing with this. So this is another one going in the clean out pot. So I've got a... No, can't tease anything out. Can I? Yeah, no, a little bit. Nah, that's not going to write, which is a shame because it's a beautiful writer. The nib on this is by Cypress, and that's a broad Cypress nib. So that goes into the clean out pot. We'll fetch out the next pen. Next one. This is from Pilot, and this is the Pilot E95S. So we've got here an E. In some markets it's referred to as the Pilot Elite. Pocket-sized pen, really. When you post it, it's a really nice size. Just look at that. Unposted, not really very usable. The tiny body comes off. And here we can see I've got a cartridge in here. It is a cartridge converter. It does take a CON 40, but the problem with the CON 40, when you put it in, the body here, or the section should I say, is very deep. So all you can see is the turning knob. You can't actually see your ink level. So I just refill the cartridge. The nib, here we've got this nib. This is a 14 karat gold nib. And it's a really gorgeous pen to write with. So we've got here a Pilot E95S. Fortunately, this one is writing, and it's a medium 14 karat gold nib. The ink is by Colorverse, and it's Red Horizon. Do like the colour of this ink. Price for this pen, you're looking approximately 215 Aussie dollars. This is my cheapest non-Chinese gold nibbed pen. Very nice to write with. Love having this, and because it's pocket sized, I take it all over with me. Up next, we're going to go to Italy. Next couple of pens are both from Italy. This one is by Delta, and this is the Delta Dune, and the model colour is a Reflex. We do have an ink window here. It's a piston filling pen, but that isn't the full width. So inside there, we've got the barrel, which contains the ink, or the reservoir, but it only takes up maybe half of that space. And I do struggle. This material is blue, which I can understand because that fits in really well with the pen, but I do struggle to see ink levels in here. Gorgeous nib there, I believe made by Yoho for them. Got Delta branding on there. In the hand, nice and comfortable. It's got that nice step down style section, and it will post. I use this unposted. So we've got here a Delta This is such a smooth writer, and this is a broad nib. The ink is by Diamine, and it's Early Dusk. There we go. Price-wise, you're looking approximately 222 Aussie dollars. A really nice pen. This was the cheapest Delta pen I could find when I was looking, and I went for this colour and I thought, was a bit iffy about it, but the more I use it, the more I look at it, the more I like it. So that's that Delta June. Up next, my very first expensive pen. This was the Leonardo Momento Zero Grande, and this is in this gorgeous dark Hawaii pattern, and it's a spaghetti type pattern. Let's look at the different colours in there. Chunky pen, another big long pen, nice and comfortable to use. Sort of posts, again, it's one I don't post. Piston filling pen. Downside with this, there is no ink window. I love the section. They've stopped doing these with this section now, which is such a shame because, as I've already said, I hold my pens down low. This is just perfect. And here we've got a number 6 size nib. Again, this one made by Yoho for Leonardo. So we've got here a Leonardo. I'm just going to put MZ for Momento Zero Grande with a medium nib. And the ink is by Colorverse. And it's Pulsar Pulse. Price for this pen, approximately 377 Aussie dollars. This is another sheen in ink, so it's a nice blue, and then we get a red sheen comes through. And in this pen, I think they go really, really well together. So that's my Leonardo Momento Zero Grande. The final pen, hold on to your socks, we're taking a jump in price. This is a Pelican M1000 in Renaissance Brown. Oh, it's a stunner. Looking at this through the camera doesn't do it justice, the way that the colours come out on this. Piston filling pen. No ink window, but the body is slightly translucent. I will be honest, I struggle to see anything through it, but that just could be me. If you hold it up to the light, I have a couple of times seen that there is ink sloshing around inside, so it is possible to see the ink level. We've got another big nib here. I might include this when I do the number 8 size nib comparisons. This is an 18 karat gold nib. On this pen, it's a really, really, really wet writer. Just look at this. It's so nice in the hand. There we go. You can post it. It posts. I'm just going to put my finger there. It posts a little bit on. I don't need to post it though. It's got more than enough length. So let's write with this. So we've got here a Pelican. The nib is so soft. I have to be very careful, otherwise I end up putting a little bit too much pressure on it, and like you saw there, it either won't write or it railroads terrible. Barely have to touch the paper with the nib to get it to write. With a broad, 18 karat gold nib. The ink is by Diamine, and it's Yuletide. Price for this pen, as said, hold on to those socks, 1,350 Aussie dollars. It is not cheap. Is it worth it? That's a very awkward question, but I love it. So the fact that I love writing with it means, yes, it is worth it. So that's the Pelican M1000. Let me just straighten this up. So they're my int pens, and as said, not in my pens in use selection, and not there just for a video. We've cleaned out 2. Hopefully I'll be able to clean out some more of these this month. This is one of the reasons why I like doing these, because I can see which pens are not writing or are empty, and then take them out and get them cleaned out. What pens have you got inked up this month? Please drop a comment down below. Let's kickstart that conversation. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.